Hello, everybody. Laurie Baracco here, and it is Sunday, October 16th. I have to always check the day at the bottom. And I welcome you to this week's streaming. And this week I'm going to be talking about starseeds. And this is a topic that so many people have been inquiring about. And it's one of those topics that's kind of open ended, I'm going to kind of say. So I'll get into that in just a moment. So I want to give everybody a moment to receive the notification that I'm live here. And today I am, let's get this gorgeous altar going. I am at the Mystical Moon in Bonita Springs, and I see a few friends have joined. Hello and good morning. Feel free to type in the comments, hello, let us know that you're here and where you're watching from. So give everybody another moment or two, and I hope everybody's doing well and receiving the support that you're needing these days. Hello, good morning, and yeah, hello. So at the Bonita Springs store in the classroom, that with the overhead lights, it takes a moment or two for them to turn on, and I think it has to do with is it the humidity maybe? That's going on in the area. Okay, I've got to fix my necklace. So this is a really pretty necklace. I did want to talk about this. I was feeling very aqua-ish, watery. I've got my Larimar there, and this is my Larimar dragon necklace that I had been gifted from my husband when we went on a cruise and we were in Mexico. So hello. Okay, see, hi, Andrea, and good morning from Ohio. Colorful autumn. Oh my gosh, I bet it's beautiful there. Good morning. And Jamie says, hi from my couch in Naples. Hi, Jamie, from your couch. And yes, I hope everybody is safe and feeling kind of maybe grounded or connected this morning. Good morning, everyone. So I am streaming live on my YouTube page, in the Facebook private group, the Astral Lounge, Laurie Baracco's Astral Lounge, and on my Laurie Baracco Facebook page, my, I guess, business page, my profile, not my personal profile, but the other one, the business profile. All right, so hello and good morning, everyone. So let's all take a moment to set the space for all of us here today. And let's take a moment to bring our attention and our awareness to our breath. Taking the time to center ourselves and collect ourselves, maybe from the busy week, from all that's been going on. I'm not going to smudge today because my in-store reader has a sensitivity to sage and incense. So we will do our intentions, sawn, sage, or incense without incense or sage or aromas. So we're going to take a moment again to collect ourselves and center ourselves here in the moment from the week or the weeks or the months that have flown by and the events that have taken place. Centering ourselves, gathering ourselves, grounding ourselves into our bodies, and at the same time anchoring ourselves to this earth, and then connecting to the multi-dimensional selves that we are, our aspects, essence, and all the realms, bringing in gratitude and grace and community, connecting with all of you through the astral realms and the psychic webs of energy and intention. Asking that this gathering connect all of us and help to support us and maybe bring in some intriguing questions for all of us. And as we ask the questions, we will receive the answers eventually. And I ask to be a channel of wisdom and information and light and healing for all those who are tuned in here for this gathering. And so it is. And so it is. Hello, everyone. Hello. So this week I am going to be talking about starseeds. And as I started to mention earlier, is that the topic of starseeds is one that so many people have questions about, and it really has been popping up. So I do have some notes, and yeah, I wanted to maybe invite you to think outside of the box. To think outside of the box. So, what is a starseed? What is a starseed? The term starseed has been around for a while, yes. And these days it's made its way to mainstream conversations and awareness through channeled messages and as we connect to the Akashic records. And the Akashic records are a plane of consciousness, or planes of consciousness, I should say. I feel like there are different planes of consciousness within the realms, the astral realms, the Akashic realms. And there's information or understanding or tidbits that drop in that are thought provoking. Who am I? Where, who was I before this? Why do I feel drawn to other places? And so through messages, through a channel, through meditation, through visiting different realms in the astral, and reading books that, and now there are television shows too, right, that talk about the different galaxies and star nations and so on and so forth, right? Ancient aliens. And then there's also Gaia TV, right? So there's a lot of conversation. And then, right, they're saying, and then the YouTube channels and so on and so forth, right? So there's a lot of information that has been filtered down through to these through our awake states, that we have some resonance and information coming through. And so what is the definition of a star seed? So I'm going to say my definition, and as always, the information that I share, I invite you to sit with it. And if it resonates, that's great. And if it doesn't, that's great too, right? So that's where a lot of this information about star seeds it's come through, or come to be through channels and people who are sharing this information. There really aren't documents to say, oh, this is exactly what this is. Like, we really can't fact proof all of this, right? We can't fact check it all. So with my own research, with my research, my inner research and my outer research on this topic, there have been some articles that have been written that, okay, that resonates. And then there are some common themes, and probably they had their shared information, right? Someone saw an article and then they shared that information, and so on and so forth. So I will share the different types of star seeds that I found, that the descriptions or the characteristics that really resonated with me. I'll share that site. And I know that in Facebook, I may not be able to share that link. So let me go here to find this document here. Hold on here. Let me see. So if you bear with me for just a moment. So this is the question, the topic or the article that I'm going to share. It has to do with the different star seeds and the different starseed traits. So I'll share that in just a moment. Good morning, Joe. And so, as I mentioned, that there's no way to really fact proof this information. You just can't. So see what resonates. And I thought it was a really cool topic, though. And there are some people that I do believe that are tapped into a similar collective. And so that's where the similar information's coming through. So let me share first what I had written, and then I will pop onto Facebook and drop this, I think, in the private group. I don't think I'm able to share this in the private group. So it's just the settings with StreamYard. So what is the definition of a starseed? A starseed is someone who has an awareness that life exists beyond this earthly existence and feels a connection to other star systems and galaxies. Starseeds have come here with strong humanitarian agendas and are focused on raising the consciousness of the human race. Starseeds have the understanding that we are multidimensional beings and can access these different aspects of self. So, so as I'm sharing what I had written, something else is coming up too, that there are different types of star seeds that, yep, see, that's the validation. My light just went on, ding, ding, ding. There are some star seeds that have a denser consciousness, not a higher consciousness, and maybe their agenda is to cause confusion rather than having an enlightened influence on others. Okay, so Yeah, and even as I was doing my research, there were many different types of star seeds that I felt. I don't know if that's a star seed or is that a term, right? So like there was one resource I found that it said light workers were a certain type of star seed. I felt like that was a kind of general term, but that's my interpretation. So again, I invite you to sit with the information, see if it resonates, and just kind of investigate on your own. And I have some tips for that too. So I'm going to read some of the comments here. And so it's a great topic, and I haven't been aligned to join a long time and just happened to be aligned with you today. I love it. And thank you so much for tuning in. It just says Facebook user. Who are you? Type in your name quick, please. So this is a topic, a knowing and understanding that really has come to be for many people. And Joe says that is correct about some star seeds causing confusion and stuff. Mm-hmm. Oh, hi, Christina. Hey, Christina. Thank you for typing in your name. So very interesting, isn't it all? So I'm going to share a little bit more, and then I will share that blog post. So this is more of my sharing. So here's some questions that I have for you, or maybe check marks for you to think about these things, right? So some people just have never felt like they belong here on this planet. And we have had some people come into the centers, and I've had clients where I have said, very interesting. There's something really different about them. And I have that impression or the intuitive message that they probably haven't had very many incarnations on this planet, but their soul is really, their essence, their consciousness is connected to other places, right? So yeah, sometimes you just know it. It's like, oh, they're just different, right? And it's also possible that some people that have social anxieties and social awkwardness, that it's because of this dimension and the vibration and the social skills. Maybe they don't have them because they're connected to other realms as well. However, it is really important that we focus on this realm in the here and the now. Yeah. This is the most important life you're living, is the one that you're focused on in this moment. Just as I would say the same thing to you if you, as you do have other or are having other experiences in other dimensions, that life is important too, right? So you think about that, it's a little trippy. All right, so here are some of the questions that I have that I wrote. So are you a starseed? Do you have a longing to connect with these stars? And it's like wanting to know about astrology or astronomy or constellations and so on and so forth. Do you have that longing desire? And and there are some kids that just from the get-go are very much connected to the other realms, the other galaxies and stars. Have you felt Earth just isn't your home planet, right? It's like, beam me up, Scotty, take me home. Do you often have dreams of astral traveling to other planets and where there are different terrains, right? Different, like the planet may only have purple plants, right? So do you have dreams of that? Have that awareness, or even as you're daydreaming, or maybe even in meditation, you go to somewhere else that is not on this planet, right? Do you have strong telepathic gifts and psychic gifts, right? So it's like those natural abilities to connect and to know, and mind to mind. And most likely in these other dimensions and galaxies and stars that there isn't communication through sound. It could be thought to thought or telepathy. Do you have zero tolerance for drama and nonsense? Now, the reason why I put this in here, it's because a lot of people who are wanting to look or have a soul purpose to look at the bigger picture. It's like, I just can't deal with this nonsense, this lower vibrational nonsense at this point in my life. I'm feeling really drawn to doing the right thing and being authentic. Do you prefer to look at the bigger picture, right? It's like, okay, that's that, but I really want to focus my energy over here. This is positive and this is purposeful. And I know that this really counts to me. This really matters to me and it counts in this moment. Sorry, my language is a little, I'm getting expanded and I got to ground myself here. Animals may naturally be drawn to you. Also, you may be highly empathic. So maybe you're an old soul and maybe you've been called an old soul. Maybe you've been called an old soul and like you just don't fit in, you don't belong here. It's interesting, right? Maybe you have a strong desire to be of service to others, right? So those are just some of the things that maybe it's like, yeah, I think this feels right for me. I'm just popping in to check out some of the comments, and Daphne says blessings to all, blessings to you too. So I really do believe if you were to take a moment and to tune in here to your heart center and ask yourself, like a hand on the heart, hand on the solar plexus, am I starseed? Yes, right? So some of these characteristics that I read aloud, and it's kind of lengthy. I think I have 12 of them that I selected, and from this article too, right? So I don't have the number, but it's quite a bit of information. So hang tight, friends. So as I mentioned, I'm going to share the link to this, and I'm going to pop on Facebook for just a second to do so. Okay. Right, isn't that? Yep, that's what I grabbed. Hold on here. So if you just give me a moment to pop into my Facebook page, I'm going to share the link there. And I'm also going to share it in the StreamYard, which I'm not always sure if it gets connected there. So let's take a moment. If you have pen and paper, get your pen and paper. And hold on here. Get your pen and paper, maybe just write down a few things. And then afterwards, go and see. Here we go. Here's the link on that page. So just write down a few different characteristics or starseed types and go research it or meditate and see if it resonates with you. Okay, so I'm also going to go to my Facebook page as well. Here we are here, that Laurie Baraka one. Okay, so there's that info, and now I'm going to pop back on to StreamYard. Oh, look, it popped on there too. Okay, good. All right, here we go. Here we go. Okay, so this is the blog article where I really resonated with the different characteristics and types of starseeds. Now, there are tons of other starseeds. Please don't forget that. Okay, there are tons of others as well. And these are just some of the groupings that resonated for me at this time. Okay, so here we go. And Daphne says, definitely not on my home planet currently. Yeah, ditto. All right, so the first one we're going to talk about are the Orion Starseeds. So again, if you have pen and paper, write it down and just, do some research later. But remember, with everything you find online and in books, it's someone's interpretation. I also want you to sit with the information and see if it resonates. And then I do have some suggestions at the end, so don't pop off yet. Don't, just don't, if you can jump in later, because I have some suggestions about seeing what resonates. Okay, so we're going to start with Orion Starseeds. So Orion, O-R-I-O-N, Starseeds come from the Orion constellation. And there are numerous beings from the Orion constellation that migrated here from other star systems. So if you're an Orion Starseed, you probably incarnated in other star systems before Orion. However, Orion might be the incarnation you've had more recently before this earthly one. And also, Mintaka was a paradise planet covered with sparkly diamond-like waters. Some believe whales and dolphins come from the seas of Mintaka originally. Mintaka is no longer in existence. And so there are some traits for Mintaka, M-I-N-T-A-K-A-N, and some Orion Starseed traits. So I will share with all of you that I do believe I am a Mintakan Starseed. So I will share that. It's like, where else can I share that information? Oh my gosh. Thank goodness. Not everybody that I know sees some other life. Oh, I know my husband would say, okay, All right, that's fine. Anyway, so Mintakan star signs and traits. They're strongly drawn to the water element, right? These colors. You love all things about the ocean, beach, and bodies of water. You have an intense connection with whales and dolphins, dreams of swimming or living near lakes and oceans so sparkly they look like they're filled with diamonds. You have a strong desire to ascend spiritually and help others too. You're a compassionate person and get pleasure from helping others and have high levels of sensitivity to other beings, potentially empathic. So that's Mintakan signs and traits. Then we have the Orion one. So there's a lot of Orion Starseeds are scientific beings. You're interested in and intrigued in all things science, chemistry, astronomy, genetics. Very intelligent and driven by mental but not emotional beings, here to love and experience emotions. Great sense of humor, can be the life of the party. Optimistic, jack of all trades, may come off as cold emotionally, not intentionally. Interest in ancient cultures and societies, and able to work with different forms of technology effortlessly. Also, entrepreneurs, oftentimes they incarnate as the signs of Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. Some Orion Starseeds have bright sky blue or ice blue eyes that draw you in. And although there are other Orion Starseeds that have different colored eyes as well. Okay, so there we go. We just got two, Orion and Mintakan. Then we're going to talk about Arcturian. Arcturians, Arcturian. Arcturians are a type of starseed from the star Arcturus, a giant red planet located in the Boots, Boots constellation. I probably pronounced that incorrectly. They are other dimensional advanced star beings that incarnate on Earth frequently. And I have heard a lot of people that channel Arcturian starseed information. Some believe when we die, we pass through the Arcturian realm during the process of return. Thoth, Thoth, the Egyptian god of wisdom, has a home in Arcturus. So you'll see that there are some ancient civilizations that are connected to these starseeds. So here are some of the traits of Arcturians. They're great public speakers. They're leaders in their communities. They don't fear death. They're great at mathematics. They have compassion, but they often guard their feelings. They have telepathic abilities. They are confident individuals with a drive for success. They feel like the black sheep of the family. They enjoy attention and appreciation. And they may have or tend to have sensory processing issues, highly sensitive to lights, sounds, textures, and smells. I'm going to pause a moment to check out some of the comments here. So Joe says, yes, you definitely are, even though I don't know you that well in our current live stream. Also, did you know that one can access the Akash of whatever star seed is? It's separate from the Earth, but it is also detached. Yes, as I mentioned, that there are different layers or dimensions or realms of the Akasha. Yes. And Jamie, this is Jamie. So Jamie says, have you found a resource where you can take a quiz or survey to see which star seed you could be? Not a definite, just an idea. So the link that I shared here, take a look at that. So it's kind of the checklist for all of them. And yes, there were different quizzes as I was looking at my research. Some of them I thought, resonates, doesn't resonate. So play around with that. And Daphne says possibly an Arcturian. So it's Arc. There you go. With an A, Arcturian. Yep. So that can help you with researching that information. So here we go. Next, we're going to go to the Pleiades, a Pleiadian starseed, Pleiadian starseeds. Pleiadians are a type of starseed from the Pleiades star system. The Pleiades consist of 7 bright stars. Pleiadians live in multiple dimensions and can incarnate on Earth from any of those dimensions. And so they're also known as the 7 sisters. So these starseeds can be gentle in nature and meek mannerisms, are soft-spoken and polite, humanitarians, often can take on the energy of other people as an empath, often tall and slender with blonde hair and blue eyes. So this varies, so just remember that. May have Norse or Northern European ancestry DNA, all about the love and want to spread love to the world. They may have high cheekbones, long limbs, strong jawlines, drawn to outer space, science fiction, astrology, and stars. Interested in healing and metaphysics. They often wear their hearts on their sleeves and may struggle with food sensitivity, sensory issues, and anxiety when not in alignment. So I'm going to check my comments here. You're welcome, Daphne. All right, so I didn't lose anybody yet, right? We're still doing okay. All right. Okay, so then the next one is the Draconian Starseed traits. Draconian. So Draconian Starseeds are from the Draco constellation, and Draco means dragon. Therefore, any Draconian Starseeds are linked to dragons and reptiles of various kinds, like the Reptilian race. Lifegarians, Greys, and other Draconians come from Draco. And so there are some Draconians who are selfish, and some may say evil, while others are here to help wake humanity and raise consciousness. You'll see debates going both ways when it comes to reptiles and Greys particularly, but you know your heart better than anyone else online, right? So I love that this was put into this information here, right? So not all star seeds and not all beings are of high light consciousness. Some beings are lower density, just like when we connect to the other side. When you connect to the other side, whether it's through mediumship or astral travel, you want to make sure that you are in a protective channel of the higher self as the gatekeeper. So here are some of the starseed traits of the Draconian starseeds. They may be drawn to science, math, technology. They don't take kindly to authority higher than themselves. When they're not in alignment, they can be money hungry and manipulative. When in alignment and from a higher dimension, they may want to unite people and work towards a common goal. They always finish what they start. They may be attracted to reptiles, amphibians, and dragons. They may have thin, long faces, thin bodies, and like lizard-like eyes and features. They may have lower body temperature, may be drawn to the sun and warmth. They are great at fitting in with different groups, like a chameleon, and they may find jobs as community leaders, politics, military, architecture, and construction. Okay, let's see. And Joe says Pleiadians have originally settled in Lemuria. Yes. And Lupa says, love that, Laurie, that you can say what starseed you are here. Mintaka is so cool. I think I am Andromedian, but not sure. Let's see. I believe that's in my part of my topic here, like my traits. Okay, so let's get back. And so the Greys, so Grey starseed traits, you've been misunderstood your whole life. And remember, these are not all heavier energies. You might have a large head with a disproportionate smaller body. You might not have much hair on your body. You might have an intense interest in human genetics and DNA. Maybe even have a career as a scientist in that field. I might have dark eyes, almost black eyes. You're drawn to the Draco's constellation. You might have an interest or fascination with dragons, and you may have problems showing your emotions to others and being vulnerable. Okay, so then there are the reptilian, lower body temperature. You find yourself cold more often than not. You crave warm weather and the sun. Again, you might be drawn to reptiles and amphibians, lizards, turtles, snakes. You've had visions and dreams of the Ouroboros symbol, right? You are adept at fitting in, again, like a chameleon. You may not feel right being at the bottom of the hierarchy. So they are most certainly wanting to be leaders. Now we're going to move on to Syrian Starseeds. So Syrian, S-I-R-I-A-N Starseeds. So maybe you've been fascinated by the dog star Sirius since the beginning of time, and many people have been, like ancient Egypt. African tribes and other people have legends and connections with the star Sirius, and with good reason. It's the brightest star in the sky, and it's also known as Alpha Canis Majoris. Majoris. And in recent years, it was discovered that it's a two-star system. And in fact, the Dogon, Dogon tribe in Africa has been saying that for years. So Syrian Starseed traits are drawn to lost civilizations and ancient cultures. They're drawn to the star system Sirius, have a love for dogs, canines, like dogs, and wolves. They're salt of the earth type of people, spiritual individuals that embrace the ways of the earth. They're even-keeled and very hard to anger. They may not express their emotions well. They are intense daydreamers. They're creative. They enjoy tattoos and piercings and expressing themselves artistically through clothes and accessories. May have a strong connection to water. Also, the dolphins and whales may have a fascination with mermaids. If not a love for dogs, then cats for sure. And may have cat-like, dog-like, mermaid-like characteristics. Okay, let's see here. And then Joe says, I'm 100% from Sirius and have vivid dreams from there. And someone else says, this is very interesting. Nailed it with the Syrian. I will read up, right? So read up about it, meditate on it, but I also have some suggestions. Again, I will go through that later. Then there are the Lyrian Starseeds, Lyran. Lyrans are a type of starseed from the Lyra constellation. There are a few stars in the Lyra constellation, but the main planet of origin is Vega, Vega, almost like Vegas, but without the S. It's said the first humans originate from Lyra. Two races of ancient beings called felines and avians also come from Lyra and helped establish much of the ancient world on Earth, including Atlantis and ancient Egypt. The Lyrans who aren't incarnated on our planet are typically found in higher dimensions, the sixth dimension and up. And then we have the Venusian Starseeds. So is it possible other planets in our solar systems once supported life? Heck yes, right? And so this also includes Venus, which brings us to the Venusian Starseed. Venusian, that's how you say it. Venusian. And they live in the Venusians live in the fourth dimension. They're also called the Hathors. Hathor is an Egyptian cow goddess of love and motherhood. It is said she's from Venus and seeded Venusians on Earth to teach love and compassion. So here are the Hathor Venusian Starseed traits. They're very tall and slender, sensual and passionate individuals, nurturing and compassionate, highly spiritual beings, sometimes to a fault, need to be reminded or taught how to ground themselves. They're high up, they're in their heart, throat, like in the upper chakras. They feel connected to the universe and guides, higher self, can be labeled as flighty, drawn to ancient Egypt, and namely the goddess Hathor and Venus and Aphrodite. Very attractive individuals with coveted facial features, interested in alternative healing modalities, and particularly using sound and ritual. Okay, so I'm going to pop in here. Hi, Elizabeth. So someone says, Facebook user, curious how I could be one starseed and my children, obviously, from another, and what that may mean with the dynamics of our family. Really interesting. It's like the next level of understanding zodiac characteristics now. Oh, Christina, there you are. Understanding our starseed characteristics. Exactly, right? So we have kind of a potpourri of different consciousnesses here to do different things within a certain family, right? It is interesting. I find all of this fascinating because I can connect with different starseeds in my family too. So then there are the Martian Starseeds. They are stories that Martians came to Earth hundreds of thousands of years ago to take part in our evolution. Others believe life existed in this dimension on Mars many years ago, but because of the discovery of water on the red planet. There isn't a lot known about Martian starseeds, but some claim they had origins on the planet. And some of those traits include being drawn to the planet Mars, finding the desire to travel there, or interested in the colonization of Mars, have a strong desire to advance the human race, strong connection to water and fire, have memories of being on the surface of Mars. Then here's the Andromedian. So Andromedan, Andromedian Starseeds. Andromedian Starseeds are from the Andromeda galaxy outside of our own. Though it said their galaxy is spiritually linked to ours, there are fewer Andromedian Starseeds on Earth than others. They are a rare breed. Andromedians are the guardians of the seventh dimension, and here are some of the Andromedian Starseed traits. They're easy to talk to and great communicators, laid-back personality, quiet and tend to stay in the background to observe others, love their freedom, have a strong desire to travel and explore, often can't stay in monogamous relationships, have a commitment problem, emotionally guarded and avoid conflict as much as possible, tall, thin, and some bald easily in their earthly bodies. They may find jobs in spiritual practices, artists, musicians, teachers, spiritual leaders, tarot readers, etc., and have a carefree lifestyle. A good question, Daphne asks, are indigos considered starseeds? Yes, absolutely. And Luke's question is, on second thought, per this article, I don't fit Andromeda as much as some of the others. What do I know? What I do know, that whatever starseed I was from is one where they were telepathic. I really remember a telepathic world. Yes. Right. So see what information resonates. Maybe you're from a few, right? And you spend a little time here and a little time there. Okay. There we go. Next, we have the Polarian Starseeds, like polar. Polarian. So these starseeds come from the North Star Polaris. Also, some say that they were possibly the first spiritual beings on this planet from a higher dimension. At that time, they were giants in height. And here are some of the starseed traits. Highly spiritual individuals, drawn to the North Star Polaris and other dimensions. Yearn to learn more about the human origins and the ascension process. Empathic abilities. Most are very tall in height. Androgynous or non-binary. Feel as if they've been on Earth for millions of years. Feel natural catastrophes like earthquakes within their bodies and souls. They're very much in tune with the Earth. They prefer stability and shy away from sudden changes. So they like routine, and they seek to be very grounded. All right, Daphne, have a good day. Daphne's got to run, just checking comments. So then there are Hidarian Starseeds, Hadarian, come from Beta Centauri. They were all about the love, unconditional love, and are on this planet to spread love. The story goes that Hidarians were invaded by a tyrannical race of beings and left their planet to escape enslavement. Many came here, but it's difficult for them to remember what happened because of the trauma. So it's like they try to erase it. So they are here to bring love. They're individuals who want nothing more in life than to have a strong relationship with others, friends, and romantic. May come across hippies preaching free love. They feel happier and more fulfilled when in a relationship. They are here to learn how to love others and themselves along with the power of free will. Shy or introverted, their goals are not aligned with money or financial success. They want to help others. They may find jobs in corporate world where they become a part of the team, counselors, philanthropists, and humanitarians. Then we have the Alpha Centaurians. Alpha Centaurians come from the Alpha Centauri star system, which is the closest star and planetary system to ours. Since scientists confirmed that there's a habitable planet in Alpha Centauri, which is exciting, and though it's probably different from Earth, the Alpha Centaurians have an advanced civilization and have seeded some of their souls here on our planet to help in our development. So here are some of the starseed types. Your favorite color might be purple or violet. You have a career or are seeking one in the scientific field. You've always been really scary smart, maybe very connected to chemistry. You feel people around you aren't at your level of intelligence, although you may not be necessarily egotistical about it. You're mostly a quiet individual and a daydreamer and are independent and confident. Oop, let me just check on comments. Everybody's doing okay. Then we have the Agarthian or inner earth beings. So the question here is, have you heard the hollow earth theory? If you haven't, there's a theory that the earth is actually hollow, like La Brea, right? People living there. And there's another civilization inside called the Agarthians, Agarthan. So in 1947, a man named Admiral Byrd claimed he'd flown over the North Pole and was taken into the Agarthian city and met people there. And so these are some of the traits. Might be environmentally driven, have memories of dreaming of going into the earth and residing in the earth, have memories of Atlantis and being drowned in a flood or retreating to the earth. Some believe Agarthians are the same as the fairy folk who lived underground according to our ancestors. They may be tall or thin, they have pointed ears or elf-like qualities. Then we have the Anunnaki, Anunnaki, Starseeds. If you were to research the Anunnaki online, you'll find lots of conspiracy theories out there. And some people believe the Anunnaki are evil and they're bad and they're here to control the masses. And some people believe that they are a branch of the Syrian civilization. They are a branch off of the, Syrian civilization and were part of the human creation from the beginning. So here are some of the characteristics of them. So I want you to, think about this, and it may resonate, it may not. So you may be drawn to ancient civilizations, especially Sumer, Babylon, Akkadian, and Assyria. You may feel as if your soul is ancient, older than humanity. You have a longing to return to the skies. That's kind of all of these. You favor the air element over the others. You have ancestry in the Middle East. You've had dreams of flying and in a projectile going to outer space. You may have the feeling of wings on your back. So these are just a few of them. And yes, the question was asked about Indigos and the rainbow children. Yeah, they are probably a type of starseed. And there were some resources that mentioned that they were a specific type of starseed. So that's where it's like the information kind of is overlapping, right? So again, sit with the information, see if it resonates. So let me share some of the information that I wanted to say. So there are other starseeds out there, and this list is probably incomplete. The universe is vast, and there's no way we could ever have knowledge about all of the galaxies and starseeds that exist or had existed. So most of this information is channeled, and there isn't a 100% proof way to prove the information. I invite you to sit with the information to see what resonates and what doesn't. If a name jumps out at you, then investigate it. Chances are there are a couple of them. You might even hear it like, oh, that's me, right? Or maybe there were some types of starseeds that I mentioned that you've heard that name or term before. So here's my astral travel advice. Be smart. Be smart. Always protect yourself whenever you are astral traveling. There are many energies out there in the cosmos, and not are all love and light and have positive, loving agendas, helpful agendas. And so you want to make sure that you only astral travel or to seek to connect to this information if when you're grounded, centered, have protection in place, and have your intention set. So I have taught astral travel before. I am going to teach astral travel again online as a private Zoom class. And so when astral traveling, which means that you leave your body with intention, you go, you set your intention to receive and connect with information in the other realms outside of your body, outside of this earthly experience. And you want to make sure you do so in a protective tube of light. Some people may travel with the Metatron's cube. Put yourself in Metatron's cube and spin it and travel out there. I always encourage people to connect with your higher self and your guides, and to do any type of psychic or spiritual work when you're grounded, protected, have an intention, when you're not under the influence of any substance, and where you are feeling like you're even keeled. And when you have privacy too, there are many different checklists. Like there's a checklist with many different things that I suggest working with and going down that checklist so that you can travel safely and feel confident with trusting the information that's coming through, and that the information is for the highest and the best good of all, right? That you bring your guides, you do so in that higher self channel, and poof, off you go. And then you can come back with the information and receive it and trust it, because you don't have to second guess when you're in that higher self filter. And so Christine says, sign me up, baby. Yep, I will be scheduling that event. I definitely will be scheduling that. So I did want to see if anybody has any questions of me at this time. Let's see. So I'm going to give us a moment or two to receive questions. I'm plugging in my computer. And then I do have my, of course, this would not be complete without the Starseed deck. And Joe says there are thousands and thousands of starseed types because each star has many planets and each galaxy has tons of stars, but not all have representations here on Earth. Agreed, right? So there's no way we can have all of that information. And maybe there are some that it's not purposeful for us to have information about. Oh, I need that book. All right. So Elizabeth says 2 thumbs up. Boom, boom. Thank you. All right. So I'm going to give everybody a moment or two to type in a question or anything that popped up for you. I'm going to pull 3 cards from a Starseed Oracle by Rebecca Campbell and Danielle Noel. All right. And away we go. So I have 3 cards from the Starseed Oracle. So I want you to move into the energies. This is your message about Starseed information and your Starseed journey. Okay, so which card is calling to you? Card 1, a 2, or 3? This is just it's a jump off. This is a platform, a jump off starting point for you to delve into the information. It just says, such an awesome deck. And hi, Vanessa. I hope you were able to catch the info. If not, pop on afterwards. I'm sure you'll recognize yourself in one of those Starseed categories. 1, 2, or 3. All right, here we go. If you chose number 1, let me, hold on here. I don't think that these are all alphabetical, so it might take a minute. Oh yeah, there it is. It is alphabetical over here. Okay. All right, so if you chose number 1, boop, you have lifting the veil, questioning everything. Align. Anything unaligned must go. This is your Starseed journey message. Things aren't always as they seem, and that this era is one of uncovering mistruths so we can remember ancient truths. Everything is in a state of recall and realignment. Anything that isn't in harmony with the planet will not survive. This goes for society and the world at large, as well as in our own lives. If you pulled this card, you're being called to energetically scan your life for things that may no longer be a vibrational match. For who you are and how you've grown, to dismantle the systems and waves of being that once served you and others but no longer do. Some starseeds are here to lift the veil between the seen and unseen worlds, to shine a light on things that are inauthentic or unaligned with the survival and well-being of Earth. to stand for and protect those who don't have a voice, to look deeper and question everything that previous generations did not. Some starseeds cannot tolerate things that aren't congruent. They're here to bring society and humanity back into harmony with the planet and creator at large. So here's the soul inquiry. What isn't congruent in your life? How are you being called to bring it back into harmony? Okay, that's number one. Authenticity. Working with authenticity. I was going to start singing, but yeah, I'm going to spare you on the Sunday. I'll spare you that heartache. If you chose number 2, and I see Jamie says that, yes, that sounds very intriguing. All right, if you chose number 2, the void, stop, embrace winter. The great cosmic womb. Everything and nothing exists in the void. It's where all life begins and ends. It's the winter and the womb, the fertile darkness where all things originate and seeds grow. Comforting and intimidating, freeing and daunting. It can feel both overwhelmingly small and huge. The void is where faith lives. The message of the void is to surrender to the unknown, to allow the fertile darkness of nothingness to nourish the new seeds growing within you. Regardless whether you know what they'll one day become, you're being called to surrender to the mystery of what's next, to rest and to allow the winter of your life to do the work for you, to hand over your control and trust that just because you can't see what's happening beneath the surface, it doesn't mean things aren't at work. So the inquiry is, how are you being called to surrender to the unknown mystery of your life? And so Jamie says, can you be more than one starseed at a time? I'm sure you can, but not sure. I just saw the deck pop up. Very pretty. Yeah. I do think you can have traits of different experiences, just as, we have had an experience as an earthling, which maybe is a starseed to another galaxy and existence, right? So this is where we can really expand upon this and go down that rabbit hole. So yes, I say yes. But maybe there's some that resonate for you right now, that because that's the focus on the life that you're living and experiencing here. And if you chose number 3, ta-ta, my homeland, the seas of Mintaka, seeing potential, becoming unconscious to light, bringing the unconscious to light. Mintaka is thought to have been a water-based planet containing the most crystal clear waters you could ever imagine, so clear you could see for miles and miles underwater. The Seas of Mintaka card represents this crystalline clarity of potential and possibility. It's about the ability and choice to see the potential in all people and situations. This could be one of your natural traits, or it could be a sign that what you're currently doing has some great potential. Mintakans are thought to have been a galactic race who saw the light in everything and everyone. You may have received this card as confirmation that a situation or project has extreme potential and will reach fruition. If it appears in a spread, it's a very positive sign that things are working out for the highest potential of all involved. It's a very uplifting, light-filled card that brings in great harmony, contentment, and positive outcomes. So here's the soul inquiry. How can you see the potential in a situation you're facing? And what unconscious patterns are you being called to bring to light? So those are the 3 cards, jumping off point for your Starseed journey. And I hope that this week's topic kind of got you thinking about some things, right? And maybe seeing those traits within other people as well, right? In your families and within your relationships. All right, so I'm going to give everybody a moment or 2 to comment, and we'll take it from there. Just says, yay, I picked 3. It was spot on as usual from my polls. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Well, it's all divine, right? It's all divine. All righty. So with all that being said, I hope you all have a wonderful week. Have time to enjoy life. If you're in Southwest Florida, enjoy the change in the weather. It's getting a little bit cooler here. And I see someone saying, thank you so much for today, continuing to send good energy to Southwest Florida. Thank you. Yep, I'm still doing it every night at 8 p.m. I am sending my prayers of healing and miracles to all those who need the support and the light. Thank you, everyone. Have a beautiful week. Thank you. Thank you. Blessings to you too, Andrea. Thank you, everyone. Take care and have a wonderful week. Namaste, everyone. Bye-bye, everybody.